What is a daily scrum, and does the Scrum Master need to lead it? Well, let's take the second half first. No, a Scrum Master doesn't need to lead a daily scrum. In fact, a daily scrum done well, the Scrum Master doesn't need to be there. Okay. The purpose of a daily scrum is very much for those developers to plan and synchronize the next 24 hours for delivering their sprint goal. Okay. They're going to have conversations around what are we working on? What are we going to be working on next? What's the next most important thing? What's getting in our way? Traditionally, we've had those three questions. What have we done to progress the sprint goal? What are we doing next to progress the sprint goal? And what's getting in our way of progressing the sprint goal? Okay. You don't have to use those questions, but they are a pretty good sort of framework to get started with. What we're doing in that scrum is precisely that, planning. It's not detailed discussions. Many people complain it takes too long. That's a really good sign that you've gone too deep. All you want to be saying is, I'm working on this ticket. I'm going to be done about lunchtime. Darren, can you give me a hand getting started with that? Because I know you've done it before. If anybody else wants to join me, we can get cracking. I'll be available about 2ish, I reckon. Right? Nothing really getting in my way. In that very brief piece of information, I'm working on this. I'm going to be done around lunch. I'm going to start with this. I need a bit of help. Darren, can you give me some help? Now, you may not be available. And Darren says, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be available. I've got a doctor's appointment this afternoon. How about I catch up with you before lunch so that, you can get started as soon as you want. Awesome, done. That's it. That's all I want. As a team, you've got half a dozen people saying that. 15 minutes is an incredibly long time. So, it's for the team, by the team, to work out what they're doing and are they doing the most important things. Where does the Scrum Master fit in? They are often brought in, you need to lead this daily scrum. Utter waste of time. Right. What happens then is you get a traditional project management update where everybody turns, faces the Scrum Master and says what they've been doing to report activity. Okay. You're a team. You're doing the most important things. You don't need to tell me that. You probably need to tell each other to make sure you are doing the most important things. If the Scrum Master comes in and leads a daily scrum, they're going to cause problems that they may not recognise. They're going to create dependency on themselves. What happens when you go on holiday? Who do they report to? Oh, well, maybe we need to get another Scrum Master in for them to tell them what do they care about it. But also we're working against really one of the key parts of what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a self-organising, self-managing team, empowered to act. Well, if we're there, we're actually being an obstacle to that. So what are you doing next? Oh, well, I'm doing this one. And they can have that conversation, and in fact, they need to learn to have that conversation. To truly own this process. So if you're there as a Scrum Master leading a daily scrum, unfortunately, you're the problem. That said, in the early days, you've got a new team, they've never done this before. What's the Scrum Master doing? Likely holding their hands and walking them through it. Lightweight, it turns into, Darren, what have you been working on? This, and this. Okay. Is there anything getting in your way? No. Okay, awesome. What have other people been working on? Trying to get that conversation going without leading it too much. But you often do have to kind of go, come on, Nigel, pick it up, mate. We need to know what you're doing as well. Okay. So Scrum Masters, early on, need to teach people what the purpose is. Okay. You don't do that in a classroom. Okay. You can deliver the theory for a daily scrum in a good 2 minutes, probably a bit less. But until they live it and breathe it, they're not going to get it. And they won't get it first time anyway. So the Scrum Master is there to help them understand it. But once they're understanding it, take a step back. Get out of the way and let them do their thing. Okay. Scrum Masters are more than welcome at daily scrums, but I'm not a fan of them leading them.